Hello, welcome back to Johnny's NetSec YouTube channel. In my previous lab, I already showed you how to create AAD users and have remote Windows client, Windows 10, Windows 11 joined into AAD, Azure Active Directory. I created two users, test1, test2, and my local Windows 11 machine has used test2 joined into AAD. So the whole lab targeting is we're gonna have those remote AAD joined machines, Windows 10, Windows 11, can securely access the storage share files. This is the basic topology. We're gonna create a VPN gateway. That will be my lab 3. In this lab, we're gonna focus on Azure storages and virtual machine to creating the shares. We're gonna have 4 different steps to get this lab done. So now let's start it. Step 1, log into Azure portal, create Azure Storage File Shares. After you logged in Microsoft Azure portal, search storage accounts, create a new. Assuming you don't have a resource group, so we create a new resource group. Let's give a name. For testing purpose, locally redundant storage is enough. We use the default settings. Validation passed. Deployment is complete. Let's go to resource. You don't have any file share yet. We're gonna create a file share. File share 1. Second one, file share 2. If you want to connect to it, you can just copy those PowerShell script and paste into your Windows machine, and you should be able to use the access key to access it. That's default settings. But in our lab, we're gonna do different. We are not gonna directly mount it to it. We're gonna use virtual machine to mount it. The reason why is usually from a public network, it won't allow you to use port 445 directly mount your Azure file share. In that way, we were gonna have to use a private link VPN gateway to access the virtual machine which has a mounted share from your Azure storage. So in this lab, we're gonna create storage file share, virtual machine, and mount these shares to make sure those shares can be accessed. Next video will be showing the VPN gateway part, and those AAD joined machine gonna use the VPN gateway access VM mounted shares. Let's search virtual machine. We're gonna create one virtual machine. We're gonna use the same resource group. We're gonna use Windows Server 2019 Data Center version generation 2 for our lab purpose. We can use standard BYS, but make a performance better, we're gonna using standard P2S. We're gonna set up a basic username, password. Then we're gonna select inbound port 3389. Next is disk. We're gonna using premium SSD disk. And also I'm gonna create a new disk to attach it. We don't need 1 terabyte. We just need 32 gigabytes for testing purpose. Just make sure delete disk with VM. We need to check the management as well. Since we're gonna using Azure AAD to log in this VM, we're gonna enable that as well. Let's run in the final validation. Validation passed. Let's create the VM. Deployment is in progress. I will be back once deployment is completed. After 2 minutes, even deployment is still in progress. We are already able to log into this new created virtual machine. One thing we want to check is the new disk. So let's create this new disk and mount it. And it is 32 gigabytes disk. We're going to create a new simple volume. And the format is as an NTFS format. So we have a new volume, new disk. We're going to give a name called data. This is our data disk. We also gonna create our new share. There are 2 different ways you can mount or sync your storage file shares to your virtual machine. One way is directly mounting to it. Your file shares, file share 1, once you select connect button, you can just copy, run it. Let's run PowerShell. You can directly run it by copy the command. It will connect into the port 445. Once 445 connected, then you can mount it. As I mentioned before, since it's using port 445, in the future it may cause a problem for your remote users. You are not able to reach the Azure storage account via port 445 because the ISP may block it. So in that case, I'm gonna using Azure synced service. Using this storage sync service, we can sync your storage account file shares to your virtual machine local folder, and then you can share it out through your virtual machine. But there's some condition. You have to put your storage account on a selected network. You cannot put it on a public network. So in that case, we're gonna go back to our storage account. Go to networking. Right now, you allow access from all networks. To get Azure Storage Sync service working, you're gonna configure network security, which only allow certain network to can connect to it. So basically, we're gonna add existing virtual network. So let's subscription. Let's select the VNet in our storage file share access resource group. And then let me select subnet. Then we can enable it. Once you did that, you can go back and you can create a storage sync service. Choose your resource group, give a name, networking, gonna create two folders, file share 1, file share 2. So in that way, you can map or sync your storage file share 1 to these local folders file share 1. There's one thing we can resolve. Since we have limited storage space on this disk, 32 gig, our storage file share can go high to 5 terabytes. So we are not gonna sync everything to this local storage. We're only gonna sync the namespace, the file name, file structures. So we are gonna see that, but all files will actually stored in Azure Storage Share folder, not on VM's local folder. So deployment completed. Let's go back to our storage sync service 1. So we need to create a sync group. We're gonna select our storage account. So we're gonna do file share 1. Basically, the file share 1 is going to be configured sync to local VM's folder. To get this storage sync working, you need to download sync agent. So basically, we need to register the server, file server, to this storage sync service. Because IE enhanced security configuration is enabled, we're gonna disable that. Let's download agent. Since our Windows OS is 2019, so let's download this one, 54 megabyte. And we're gonna copy this agent to the VM's desktop. So we already copied the storage sync agent on the desktop. Just install it. Accept the terms in the license agreement. You can keep the default folder, just using the existing proxy settings. You can use Microsoft Update. After 1 or 2 minutes, the installation completed. Click Finish. Azure File Sync Agent Update. So they're gonna show you this screen to show you this has been updated. Click OK. So now we're gonna sign in and register this server to Storage Sync service. So it's Azure environment. Let's sign in. So now you need some information like subscription resource group and the storage sync service. So then you can click this drop down list to find out your subscription, and then you can also get your resource group. After that, you will get your storage sync service. Click register. You will see registration is successful and we are all set here. You can go back to your storage sync service 1 and then you should be able to see this VM-file-share-s, this server here. This is just registered. We can go back to our sync group. We configured the storage file share 1 in the Azure Storage account, but we didn't add the server endpoint. So there's an option here, just add a server endpoint. So we will see the registered server here. Then we need the path. Let's go back to our virtual machine. Here is our path, file share 1. It's on F folder. You can paste it here, file share 1. So here is the important part. We don't really want to copy Azure account file share files to the local VMs folder. So we are gonna preserve the free space on the volume. So we're gonna preserve 99%. We will set this volume free space policy as 99. Usually that should be enough to keep all your storage files on your Azure storage, not on local VMs. So save that. So after you did that, you should be able to see the health status became green, the cloud tiering enabled, the status shows the time they synced. So right now we logged in as a local account. It's a local account. I set it up when I created a VM, but we should be able to log in using AAD account. So I already have AAD join the machine here. So we're gonna do mstsc connect. So as you can see now, they are not asking my username. Since we are using AAD join the machine, they're gonna using single sign-on to log into this Windows 2019 AAD joined virtual machine. So we're gonna using pin with preset before. So as you can see, your account is configured to prevent you from using this device. So that is some permission we have to set it up to use this VM. So local account NetSec is working fine, but to use AAD join machine, you need to give the permission. So we're gonna go to the virtual machine. We're gonna check access control IAM. So we need to grant access to this resource. Add role assignment. So there's a virtual machine administrator login. contributor login, and the user login. So I'm gonna give administrator login to the user test2. Next. So you can assign group or server principals or user. So in this case, to make it simple, I'm just using a group. I'm going to write group, which test2 will be inside of it. Next, select, review and assign. We can go back to our AAD configuration, check groups, write group. There's one user, check the members, test2. So now it's time to try remote desktop connection with AAD login. Again, enter your PIN. Don't ask me again. Now we are able to log in. Since we logged in as our AAD user, we can assign a permission to the folders. So we can share the file share folder 1. We can enable sharing, and we can give Azure AAD test2 read and write and share it out. But if you want to share with multiple other person to control, there's one way you can do that. You can go to the account settings, other users. You can add another work or school users. For example, we can add test1. We're gonna use in a full email address, test1 add. So in this way, we have Azure AAD test1 and test2, which can access this computer, and also we can reconfigure in the sharing. Now we can get Azure AAD test1 here. You can just give a test1 read access, share it out. One more thing to show here is tiered sync. So we can download some large files on our share folder, which is going to sync back to the Azure storage file. It will not store those big files on the local VM because we set up free space policy 99%. So in this case, let's start and download something from the cloud. Let's save it to F drive, share 1. You can try to download multiple files. We're gonna move this to our F drive, file share 1. So right now you can see the size is full, and also you will able to see it's taking 1.07 gigabytes on this disk. But after a while, after they sync it back to the storage account, it will only take a couple bytes here, just a name and a link. So eventually when you visiting this file share 1 file, they will go back to storage account to fetch that file for you. So you can see another video to show you the process here, the examples. I will not show in here. It will take some time to get the sync completed, but I will post the link here, post the video link, and also in the description, video description, you can find out from there. That's pretty much everything for part 2. So if you think this video has some useful information for you, please give me a thumb up. If you haven't subscribed this video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in my next episode.